Hi guys, so we're gonna go ahead and print our very first object. We're gonna do the Voron Test Cube here. I'm gonna be using PETG over here. And let me go ahead and share some of my settings. I did share with you guys my Printer.cfg settings. Let me go find my printer. I've switched to a new office, so my IP address has changed. This is local IP address, by the way. I can also access it using Voron, I think, 2.local. My router at this new office actually supports the IP. Maybe it's not working. It's okay, it doesn't matter. So I've got main cell. Last time I showed you how to set up Printer.cfg. Now this is just my method. I don't advise. Actually, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you follow my stuff, but I'm not saying this is like the best stuff that you can follow out on the internet. But you know, I've just been putting pieces together myself. It's been working for me. But let me go over some of the stuff. So your serial, this is how you connect to your phone. These are extra temperature sensors I added, Raspberry Pi, Octopus, and then the enclosure, so I can, you can comment the enclosure part out if you don't use an enclosure. Core XY 300, max velocity. I would recommend setting this lower if this is your first time, so I get pretty good results at 8,000 and 4,000. I'm not trying to break the world record for the fastest Voron. You know, things move fast and they're gonna eventually break down. So I don't run it that fast. I run it just at medium speeds for right now. Another thing that's important is your run current. I find run current of 1.4 works best for these Moons motors with the FormBot kit. I run it at 1.6 on my other ones. I wouldn't run any higher than that. 1.6 would be your maximum. You will have to mess with your build number if you're using less than 350. This is all made for 350. Homing speed, you can also mess with that. I've got a 70, it's fast enough. Alright, another thing to watch out for, you will have to calibrate your rotation distance. You just measure your filament. I'll have another video on that. Do that. And also, if you're using Clockwork 1 like me, you're using Afterburner, it's going to be 50 to 17 gear ratio. Micro steps, I just said 32 for everything. You can try 64, I just find more noise coming out for some odd reason. Generic 3950 works for most thermistors. Usually. Extruder. Input shaper, I would probably recommend putting this out, but I'm just gonna leave in. This is from my older machine. I don't know if it's gonna work, so I should really take it off. Bed mesh. I actually have a new bed mesh that I've been working on. Let's actually change it to this. I'm using this new code. It's working better, so let me actually go ahead and update this. I'm doing a 7x7. You don't need to do like 11x11. I'll update this code on my Printer.cfg so you guys can have the latest. Alright, let's just get on printing. You can update all components. Doesn't really matter. There's always updates like every few days, so I don't update all the time. Tired of it! Okay, the first thing you should do is here, let's make this bigger. Let's home it real quick. And let's do quad gantry level real quick. Now make sure your nozzle is clean. We're gonna do first layer calibration, layer height. The command is gonna be probe_calibrate. I'm gonna go ahead and check my machine here and make sure there's there's a little bit of nozzle. When you do the first layer pro calibration, you want to make sure there's no nothing there. You don't really have to do quad level gantry, but I guess it's better to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the extruder to 230 because I want to get that extra filament off before I do first layer calibration. So grab some pliers. So it's the range is 0.00 7.5, that's very good. Let's bring it up, hit this plus 25. Okay, as it heats up, I'm gonna go ahead and remove some of this stuff. So I'm gonna remove the extra filaments. As soon as I remove it, another important thing, I'm gonna bring down the temperature back to 150. That way there's no nothing coming out. Make sure your nozzle is clean, otherwise you do your first layer calibration, it's gonna be off. So while it's cooling down, I'm gonna go ahead and take my pliers and take that extra filament off. I didn't have to reach full 230 degrees. It is completely clean. Now we're gonna center it again. Okay. You can do this cold. Klipper will actually adjust automatically for it. So once you center it, you're gonna do probe underscore calibrate. And this is gonna set it like 5 millimeters above the bed. And it's gonna bring up this little thing. And what you're gonna do is put a piece of paper. Just watch it with your. Yeah, it's like about 5 millimeters. Just keep watching the nozzle, make sure it doesn't heat the bed. I'm gonna go go -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm gonna go -0.5, 1, 2, 3. No, it's gotta go further. 1, 2, 3. 2, 1. Oh, almost there. 1. Okay, it's getting there. I'm gonna go a little bit slower. Get it until it gets stuck. Slightly stuck. Yep. Okay, it's now scraping the paper. All right. Maybe go just get it above just a little bit. So I'm gonna go at 0.01. And that feels really good. That's too loose. So I got it to a point where it's loose, but you could clearly feel slight tug of the paper. Yeah, that's perfect, I think. All right, you should be able to get a piece of paper through, but you should feel just a tiny bit of resistance. All right, that's perfectly level. You're gonna hit accept and hit the save config button, or you can type save underscore config. All right, this will save your new Z offset location. You can also adjust the Z offset here while the printer is running under Z offset. So let's say, a lot of times I'll actually fine tune it. I'll add like 0.005 or add, I'll adjust it and then save, and then make sure you save config after it prints. So the next thing you'll need to do is load up SuperSlicer or Prusa Slicer. Now, if you're following my guide, you'll need to insert the G code here. You can go to 3dprinterschool.com, and there should be a section called Print School. Well, I'll have a link to this. Just copy and paste this. This is what I use, okay, and it works. I'll walk you through, and there is also an end section. I know a lot of people have been asking me for this, so it's all available on my site. I'm using a filament sensor, not on this one, but my other printer. But you can just comment this out if you're not using it. But if it's not gonna affect anything if you leave it on, so I'm just gonna leave it. Wait for the enclosure to reach 37 degrees. I use this when I print ABS. I have an extra thermistor. Now you'll need to install an extra thermistor if you want to do this. It's going to home all axis G28 quad gantry level. It's going to level your bed. It's going to do a bed mesh, all right, 7x7 for mine. and then it's gonna load. Make sure you gotta load after you do the bed mesh, otherwise it's not gonna do anything. Oh, I forgot all this stuff. Before all that, it's gonna set your bed temperature to your final bed temperature. For example, I'm printing right now PETG, so it's gonna be like 95. And then also it's gonna set the temperature of your nozzle to 150, so it doesn't ooze while you're homing, but it's still hot enough. It's ready to go. This extra code, I used to have it before I had the temperature sensor. This code will make your bed, it'll just pause for 8 minutes. If you don't have a enclosure sensor, you could do something like that and mess with that G4, but I comment that out. So we went through all that. Once it does the bed mesh, it's gonna set the nozzle to the final temperature. In this case, it's gonna be around 230, 235, and also wait for the bed to stabilize. It's gonna basically prime the nozzle on the left-hand side, right here. Over here, yeah, or on this side, okay. And it's just gonna print this stuff, okay. And as far as my filament settings for PETG, it's gonna be like that: 235, 95, cooling, 20, 120. This is just default settings I got from basic PETG on Voron. It works fine. Custom G code. Make sure you go in filament override. Make sure nothing's overridden. Sometimes this does by default and messes things up. Extruder, this is kind of important. I just set retraction to 0.5 for PETG. Retract on layer change. Alright, print settings. These are my print settings. I'm gonna have 5 perimeters. 5 on the top, 2 on the bottom, just for this. I like doing avoid crossing perimeters. That really gets rid of a lot of the ooze. It keeps it inside the object instead of bringing it to the outside. Seam, I have it on custom there. Arachne, make sure you enable Arachne. Slicing, I'm printing at 0.2 millimeter layer height, right? Infill, 15% at rectilinear. New skirts. I have a skirt. I like to keep the skirt kind of far away from the object so it doesn't sometimes get in. Width, I've got it set just like that right now. I like to set infill a little bit thicker and then perimeter a little bit less thicker for bed adhesion, better layer adhesion, which I find. First layer can be like 0.5, I think. 5, a little bit thicker. Okay, that's pretty much it. And I'm gonna bring up the cube and slice it. Oh, it's already sliced. And it's gonna basically look like that. And you can go ahead and enable travel, wipe, retraction, and seam. And where the seam goes is sort of important. You see the blue lines, that's all my travels. That's because I avoided crossing perimeters. This way it doesn't cross in the middle and cause all kind of blobs and whatnot. So all the retraction is gonna be on these corners, I think. I think it'll be okay. There's overhang test there. We're ready to go. It's gonna take about an hour. Oh, my print speeds, I forgot to show you. These are my print speeds. It's pretty much default other than some of these other settings I've accelerated. Also, let me show you the machine limits under printer settings. I increase just acceleration, but that's my default there. You can just copy and paste it if you want. But this is like kind of like medium speed. It's not fast, it's not slow. So I'm gonna do Voron Cube test. And that's gonna save it. And I'm gonna go ahead and go to my new Voron here, Voron Cube test. Open. And we'll let these guys run. Upload successful. It's gonna start heating up the bed. And I'll go ahead and let you guys watch like this. Probably better like this. Temperatures. Nah. Neath. What's a neath? What the heck? Okay, there. You can see my printer. I'm gonna go ride my electric skateboard because it's gonna take an hour. I don't really want to be around here. Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna go electric skateboard, but I'll put the microphone right by the printer so you can hear the sounds. It's gonna be interesting. Is it gonna be interesting? Point my microphone. towards the printer. There you go. You can hear it printing, can you? And you can see that the extruder is bringing up to 150 and it's waiting for the bed to go to 95. It's gonna home, it's gonna do quad gantry, and it's gonna do the bed level, and then it's gonna start, it's gonna actually increase the extruder to the final temp of 235, and then it's gonna start printing, right? Just make sure if your first layer is not close enough for some reason, and go ahead and adjust the Z offset. You can go ahead and use the 0.005 up or down. So make sure to do that on your first print. But if you did your first layer Z height adjustment correctly like I did, you should not have to do it. We'll see. Sorry guys, I ran out of battery on my camera, but I had to charge it while it's warming up the bed. It wasn't doing anything anyway. So it's doing quad level gantry, and you can see the stuff on the left. So my Smart Print macro will park your hot end front left before printing, and you can take a look at the height map here. It just created that mesh, and it's loaded that mesh, and it's going to heat up the extruder to 235, and then as soon as it reaches that, it will lower itself and start printing. But be ready to change the Z offset. It's just your first time, so I'm going to be ready for that. But I'm like nearly 99% positive it's a perfect layer height. They adjusted, I think. So we'll see if that works out. Oh shoot! I've run out of battery on my stupid camera here. Oh god! I'm gonna have to wait a little bit because it's charging and it keeps running out of battery. Ooh, let me grab another camera. Yeah, I have another camera. Oh god. Okay, let me hook up this other camera. So it just lowered itself. And now it's doing the first layer. And let me see. It seems okay. Maybe a little high. Oh, it's definitely high. So I'm gonna lower it a little bit. Maybe minus 0.01. Kind of hard to see. You gotta really get down to it. Okay, let me see. Yeah, that seems okay. Seems a tiny bit high. It's PETG, so it's not gonna warp anything, so it stays on pretty good. Yeah, good thing I might have my extra camera, otherwise we're gonna miss this action. Okay, I gotta go eat some lunch. I'm gonna let this run. I will be back when this is done. Close up. The first print with this new printer. Hopefully it works out. Hi guys, it's finally done. Oh, stuck there pretty good. Try to give you a close-up. So the bottom layer seems to be pretty good. I did lower it 0.1. Taking a look here. Looks pretty fantastic there. There seems to be a little ringing. That obviously I need to do some tuning with pressure advance and also input shaper. But you can see the top of the thing did the bridging really well. The bottom, you can see the overhang came out really good. So overall, very good quality. Not too bad. The X is a little iffy, but very satisfactory and very good first print. Yeah. Hey guys, I'll have more videos. For right now, I'm very satisfied. I'm gonna probably install the enclosure next because I want to sort of have it in a closed environment. Also, I'm gonna start printing some TPU. I need to actually print a bunch of TPU. I want to upgrade to the stealth burner, but yeah, not sure yet. But overall, pretty satisfactory. So we'll see. Have a great day, and good luck on your Voron 2.4.